So, the Jujutsu Kaisen movie has finally been released, and I've watched the whole thing. Therefore, I'm going to explain the entire movie to you, from the politics after the Shibuya incident, Yuta Okatsu's entry, the Zenin clan's conspiracy, and finally, the explosive setup for the Culling game. So, let's begin. At the start of the film, the first 40 minutes show a recap of some Season 2 episodes, so I'm not going to explain that part. After the first 40 minutes, a huge announcement is made. The Jujutsu headquarters declares of 5 major decisions. First, it is confirmed that Mosuguru Getonyan is alive, and his death sentence is reinstated. Second, Gojo Satoru is held responsible for the Shibuya incident and is permanently expelled from the Jujutsu Society. Any attempt to free him from the prison realm will be considered a direct crime. Third, Yaga Masamichi is sentenced to death as well, because the higher-ups believe he provoked Gojo and Geto. Fourth, the suspension on Yuji Itadori's execution is cancelled, and his immediate execution is ordered. And finally, the person chosen to carry out this execution is special grade sorcerer Yuta Okatsu, which means Yuji's biggest enemy now isn't a curse, but Yuta, a special grade sorcerer himself. After this, we see a meeting inside the Zenin clan. Here we see the condition of Maki and Mai, and the chaos after Naobito Zenin's death. Naoya Zeninham is officially declared as the next head of the Zenin clan. All property, all cursed tools, everything will go to him. But there's a twist hidden in the will. If Gojo Satoru ever dies or loses his ability to fight, then Toji Fushiguro's old deal will activate, and Megumi Fushiguro will become the new head of the Zenin clan, with all property transferred to him. The moment Naoya hears this, his mind explodes. He thinks, how can a random kid have any right over my position? From here begins his hatred. On one side Yuji, on the other Megumi. He decides that he himself will kill Sukuna's vessel Yuji and eliminate Megumi as well. Meanwhile, Yuji is still clearing curses in Shibuya. With him is Choso, who was once his enemy, but now sees him as a younger brother. Yuji is drowning in self-hatred. He feels that all the people Sukuna killed through his body. That blood is on his hands. He asks, Ahase, if someone I saved ends up killing someone in the future, will that death also be my fault? Choso doesn't stop him, but makes one thing clear. A big brother, whether right or wrong, always becomes an example for his younger brothers. This scene beautifully shows Yuji's mental state and guilt. While Yuji and Choso are fighting curses, they notice someone approaching. Namoya Zenin. Naoya tells Yuji that his death sentence has been reactivated. Gojo is no longer here to protect him, so now he can legally kill Yuji. He even talks about breaking Yuji's legs so he can't run. But then Choso steps in front of Yuji, and the fight begins. Speed versus blood. In the middle of this chaos, a new player enters the scene, Yuta Okatsu. Until now, we had only heard his name, but now he stands in front of Yuji with a sword in hand. Naoya and Yuta strike a sort of deal. Naoya will keep Choso busy, and Yuta's job will be to kill Yuji Itadori. Yuji realizes the truth. The one standing in front of him is no ordinary sorcerer. Megumi had already told him that Yuta is also a special grade sorcerer like Gojo. Yuji fights with everything he has, but Yuta has an insane amount of cursed energy, unbelievable control, and deadly swordsmanship. Yuji thinks, if I'm weaker in strength, maybe I can at least read his moves, but Yuta's cursed energy flows constantly through his entire body, making every strike feel like a finishing blow. And then the moment comes, Yuta calls out, Rika! And behind him appears the same terrifying spirit we saw in Jujutsu Kaisen 0. Rika grabs Yuji tightly, he can't even move. Yuta apologizes, thrusts his sword straight into Yuji's heart. Yuji falls to the ground, his heartbeat stops, and the whole world receives the announcement. Yuji Itadori is dead. Sometime later, we see Yuta sitting beside Yuji's dead body, broken, crying. And then the movie reveals the big twist. In a flashback, we learn that after the Shibuya incident, Gojo Satoru had secretly met Yuta beforehand. Gojo told him, if something happens to me and the higher-ups try to execute Yuji again, you are the only person I trust to save him. So, Yuta made a deal with the higher-ups. He would become the executioner and kill Yuji himself, but his real intention was to save Yuji's life. That's why when Yuta stabbed Yuji's heart, in the very same second he used reverse curse technique to heal his heart completely. The whole world believes Yuji is dead, but in reality Yuta staged a fake death and hid Yuji from the eyes of the system. When Yuji wakes up, Yuta tells him the truth, that the entire plan was Gojo's idea so the higher-ups would stop chasing Yuji. Choso and Naoya's fight escalated to a different level. Naoya tried to read his every move using his speed-based technique, but Choso slowly gained the advantage with flowing red scale and his blood manipulation. He didn't just attack with blood, he increased his own perception by sending powerful blood flow even into his eyes and muscles. He not only wounded Naoya, but also told him how empty a man who hates his own brothers truly is. Finally, Naoya fell to the ground, critically wounded. Yuta arrived and kept him alive using his reverse technique, but on the condition that Naoya would be the one to report Yuji's death, so there would be no suspicion. Yuji's eyes opened, and standing before him was Megumi. Yuji was consumed by guilt. He said, I killed people. So many people died because of me. Megumi angrily retorted, Yuji, this isn't just your fault. We are all responsible. Don't try to be the hero alone. We have to fight as a team. And then Megumi revealed his true problem. The culling game, a deadly battle royale, started by Noritoshi Kamo. And the biggest sorrow, Megumi's sister, Tsumiki, has been pulled into this game. Megumi did not plead with Yuji. Instead, he spoke to him as a friend. Yuji, I need your help. Yuji, despite his guilt, promised that he would stand by Megumi. To stop the culling game or at least understand its rules, only one person could help them. Tengen-sama. Megumi, Yuta, Yuji, Choso, and the others arrived at Jujutsu High. Already present, there was Maki Zenin, who, although badly burned, had recovered due to her heavenly restriction. The difficulty in reaching Tengen-sama is that there are thousands of doors throughout the school that are constantly shuffling. Without choosing the correct door, no one can reach the Tombs of the Star Corridor. This is where Choso comes in handy. Because the remains of his brothers are kept in the cursed warehouse, he can sense their presence through his blood connection. He grasped the door to that location, and everyone followed that path, finally reaching a vast, empty hall. Megumi started to feel that perhaps Tengen was not accepting them. But then a voice echoed, Zenin Child, Mishizane's blood, Death Painting Wound, and Sukuna's vessel, you all have finally arrived. With this, the movie concludes, setting the stage for the culling game arc and the upcoming revelations from Tengen-sama.